Everyone, I'd like to call the Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, March 20th, 2018. It's now 4:30. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And a moment of silence after. Commissioner Myers, can you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we get a roll call on the commissioners?
Soto Presley, Kasperky, Navejas.
Here.
Myricks.
Here.
Hopbridge.
Here, for the record, we have 3 present and 2 absent. All right, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay, that puts us to number 5, our minutes from February 6, 2018.
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the minutes for the Redevelopment Commission for February 6, 2018.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second in the minutes from February 6, 2018. Is there any corrections or additions then? Or any further discussion on it? Okay, roll call then.
Soto Presley, Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes. 3 yes, 2 absent. Okay, number 6, homebound, conditional forgivable loan approval. Looks like we might have 4 applicants.
4 applicants. We actually have 5, but one's running behind.
Okay,
Marcos Marina will be here shortly.
all right. Welcome the applicants. Can they stand up and come forward? Good evening. Just like to introduce yourself to the commissioners here.
You want to go first, ma'am?
Sure, my name is Annette Nunez,
And Ms. Nunes, how did you hear about the program?
through my direct loan company,
Okay.
Michelle Giuseppe.
Oh, I know Michelle. Yeah, she's great. She's a good person. Yeah, she'll take care of you. Okay. The next young lady?
My name's Heather Gray. I heard about the program through a friend who recently went through the program, so.
Okay, great, great. And you, sir?
Hi, my name is Omar. I heard of the program from my realtor,
Okay, who's your realtor?
Nick. I don't know how to say that.
What company is he with?
You know,
Macaulay? Okay. All right. And you, sir? Oh, I'm sorry, you, ma'am.
My name is Maria de la Cerda.
And,
I'm here, but I need the money for the, buy the new home.
okay, and how did you hear about our program?
Somebody tell my friend.
Somebody told you for real? Okay. Well, that's great, too. So are all you guys first-time home buyers? Okay. Does anyone else have any questions for these
No, I
applicants?
do not.
No, you do not. Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 4 applicants that's here and the 5th one once he arrives.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 4 applicants that are present, along with the 5th one that will. Actually, she's walking, or he's walking through the door now, so. Just want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, my
before we
name is
take our roll
Marco
call.
Marino.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Marco Marino Jr.
Hey, how are you? How did you hear about our program?
I took a class and they told me about it. First home buyers
First
class.
home buyers class?
Yes.
That's great. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just kind of out of breath.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Fine. We appreciate that, you took the effort to make it here.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So do I need to redo the motion?
No, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. If there's no further questions, Thank you applicants for coming, and give us a roll call then on that.
Soto Presley, Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes, 3 yes with 2 absent. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome to Hammond.
You may be excused. Okay, number 7 is approval of change order number 001 for Bud Mechanical Systems.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. What you have in front of you is change order 001 for Bud Mechanical System. This is to raise 6 of the curbs for the rooftop units, and that's over the soccer fields. These curbs have to be raised because they land right at the center where the pitch is at the lowest. So the insulation for the roof to get the right slope and for those 6 particular curbs is higher. So the curbs had to be higher. Once the roofer got out there and noticed that they were too short, those 6 had to be raised.
No questions. Mr. President, I make a motion for the approval of change order 001 for Bud Mechanical Systems.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the change order for 001 Bud Mechanical Systems. We have a roll call on that.
Soto Presley, Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes. Motion passes, 3 yes, 2 absent. Okay, number 8's another changeover, approval of change order number 005 for Golf Inc.
Okay, Commissioners, this change order includes 2 items. The first one is to revise the hardware for one of the closets. The original hardware that was designed and spec'd out was with no locking set. It's behind the office area. Once we went through the approval process of getting all the hardware, it was decided that we should probably change that hardware to have lock sets. And then in the same token, eliminate a mechanical room that was on the south end of the soccer areas. So there's some adds and credits there that are outlined in the proposal. And then the second add was to increase the size of the soccer goals from 12 feet as they were drawn to 14 feet wide. And that's to attract, in some instances, some leagues for ages require a bigger goal. So this would alleviate any problems in the future to attract any leagues that want to play there. And also adding some panels at the top of the goals to make it a consistent look, along with the dasher boards that are going across. Now there's going to be a 2-foot span that goes across the top of the goals.
Will this make it safer?
In what respect?
Just, you know,
It'll be better for the goals, the balls that go on top of the goal. They'll be able to bounce right back instead of hitting the net.
so it is safer.
Yes, yes.
Mr. President, there's no other questions. I make a motion to approve the change order for 005 for Go Incorporated.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of change order 005 for Golf Inc. Can you have a roll call on that?
Soto Presley, Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes, 3 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 9's an approval for a purchase agreement for Cube Sports Complex LLC.
Okay. Mr. President, you have number 9 and 10, which are approval of a purchase agreement for Cube Sports Complex LLC and approval of a development agreement for that same developer. And this involves the former FOP site. Essentially what's happening is that they were the only bidder when we put 2.2 acres approximately out for bid. And they're proposing a hockey complex, training facility, trampoline facility, approximately 94,000 square feet, a seven plus or minus, but a $7 million investment. The purchase agreement, which is item number 9, calls for the purchase of the property for $362,000 with a forgivable loan. That forgivable loan requires the developer to operate for a minimum of 5 years. The development agreement, which is item number 10, states that the developer would receive $2 million in TIF incentives to build this facility and the $7 million total investment. So I think the developer, I see him in the audience, so I think they may want to come up and say a few things and introduce themselves. But that's kind of the substance of the two things that are in your packet. And I would just point out, in the purchase agreement itself, item number 1, which describes the 2.2 acres, the legal description is actually the entire FOP site. So we are going to have to modify that legal description. The problem is we need to divide that former FOP site into a 2-lot subdivision. So right now, all we have is a legal description for the whole thing. Once Taringa Engineering, who's being hired to divide that into two lots, will have a legal description for the spot we're just selling them. So I want you, if you desire to approve this, I would approve it contingent upon just a modification of that legal description to add in 2.2 acres of that whole legal. So not a huge issue, it's just I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're not selling the whole site, we're selling 2 acres, and I know that's what the developer thinks we're selling them. I just want the paperwork to reflect what we're talking about. And we'll come up with the legal before closing, and once Taringa does what they need to do.
They're an engineering surveying
Right.
firm from Munster, right?
Right, and they're gonna, and I don't remember exactly what the breakdown is on how that's being paid for, but that's a seller obligation. Part of it is to ensure that the property is subdivided properly. So I know I talked to Mr. Poland, and I know there's a contract that will probably be making its way to your desk next meeting for approval for Taringa to do the subdivision, which, the timeline on this is pretty aggressive. So, and I know they can talk about that further, but these guys are essentially ready to roll. The new address will be this 2825 JF Mahoney Drive, and it'll be around approximately 2.2 acres.
Good evening. Good evening. My name's Rich Sabilo. I'm one of the people involved with the development. Frank Buck's also with me. I just wanted to say a few words about the development. First of all, we're very excited about the development. We're very excited about partnering with Hammond. I'd like to thank the mayor's staff. Phil Talon and Africa Tarver have been instrumental in helping us get to this point. We are prepared to move forward. The sooner that we get the facility up and running, the earlier we could start to attract customers and clients. And it is kind of a seasonal business, so we want to try to get as much as we can ready for next winter. A couple things about what we're attempting to do. First of all, the location in Hammond is excellent. Currently, when we look at people that would use the facility, everyone that we could think of that's currently skating in this area is about less than 25 minutes away. So the location is ideal. There's people from Porter County today traveling to South Bend to skate and play hockey. So we think we could attract some of those people. Some of the things that we would like to leverage and work with the city on is, the school systems, public skating, learn to skate programs, community centers. So we're excited about working with the city of Hammond on those types of things too, and getting the community involved, whether they're current skaters or not skating. We think that we could have a partnership there. The other thing that we, know will happen once we're up and running is the ability to bring people from outside the area in. Hockey is big in tournaments. All sports are becoming like that, where you travel to play a baseball tournament, you travel to play AAU basketball. Well, hockey's been doing that for probably 30, 40 years. So we estimate with a 2-sheet facility that we could have a 20-team tournament on a weekend that would probably bring around 300 families in and probably close to 1,000 people into Hammond to use the hotels, to shop, to do whatever. So that's a big part of this is our ability to have a 2-sheet facility that would support tournaments, youth tournaments, even adult tournaments. The area is also ideal because you're close enough to Chicago to attract teams to tournaments there. You're also close in the Midwest to Michigan, other parts of Indiana, Wisconsin. Not only are we excited about the tournament capability, but also developing figure skating programs and youth programs, for our area residents. We think that's big. Again, we're excited about the development. We are ready to go. If you have any questions, we're willing to answer any questions that you might have at this time. I didn't talk about the building, but you see the facade there, and then the layout of the building, 2-sheet facility, and then a training area that would be used for training. We've talked about maybe a trampoline zone in that area. That hasn't been finalized yet.
So, Attorney Wessler said that you have an aggressive schedule, so you would like to open this by the end of the year?
That's our plan.
That's your plan?
8 to 9 month construction plan right now.
Okay.
At least the first sheet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or maybe the
We would
first-
focus on 1 sheet of ice to get that up and running, and obviously the building would be built for the rest of the training area and the other ice rink, but those would maybe not be finished, so we could at least start to run 1 facility.
So you're looking more like the first quarter of next year?
Probably to be complete, yeah.
Okay.
Probably around this time next year would be complete, with everything.
Okay. That sounds good.
There'll be like for spectator seating, obviously, in there.
Yeah. The 1 facility would have the ability to be a public space with, seating and restrooms and everything until, but the other facilities wouldn't be open yet. The other thing that we have a meeting in the next couple weeks with Purdue Northwest, and they're very excited about this as well. They're looking to develop ice hockey as a sport, probably for males and females. So, we would have a facility that's very close to them to allow them to practice and play as well.
And just on the financial end, this is part of the Oxbow area. You approved a couple meetings ago a development agreement for the last piece of property for Oxbow. This is timed such that the TIF bonds that need to be sold for that, as well as this project, are going to go together. Okay. So the good news there is that you're saving interest cost and the big one, issuance cost, because you're not going to issue 2 separate bonds. You're going to do it together as one. So that provides you with the ability to cut down on some of the issuance costs. The timing of it just seemed to work out, and I think it's a benefit to the city to do it that way as well. So you'll get those bond documents, and those meetings will be coming in the next month.
Mr. President, I make a motion for the approval of the purchase agreement for Cube Sports Complex LSC, contingent upon modification of the legal description of the subject parcel.
That's just for number 9?
That's just for number 9. I thought we had to do them separate. We gotta do them separately, or we want
Or
them together?
You can do them separately.
Okay.
Okay. Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Soto Presley is present now, too. Is there any further questions or discussion? Okay, roll call in.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent.
Now, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for approval of the development agreement for Cube Sports Complex LLC.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of development agreement for Cube Sports Complex LLC. We have a roll call on that.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sounds like it's gonna be a very exciting project.
I want the Blackhawks here, though, for one.
You know, I was thinking of that, but I wasn't gonna go there.
There are some programs where they will engage with new facilities, but we can't promise anything.
All right.
Maybe a training camp or something. Okay, exciting project there. Number 11 is our reports. Would you like to share anything, Ms. Anderson?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'd just like to let you know that our 15th annual job fair is coming up in 2 days on Thursday. It will be at the Civic Center from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we have 95 companies that are coming. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's definitely a positive thing for people seeking employment.
Absolutely.
All right. Number 12 is our register of claims. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the register of claims for February 26, 2018 through March 20th, 2018. For register of claims R55797 through R55888.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the register of claims dating February 26, 2018 through March 20th, 2018. That's claims R55797 through claim R55888. Is there any questions or discussion on these claims? Okay, then roll call on the claims.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, we have some new and unfinished business, number 13. We have something from SEH.
Hi, good evening.
Good
My name is
evening.
Jason Spain. I'm project manager for SEH. Little history on our project here. Back in October, we were contracted to do engineering services for Oakley Avenue. Part of that scope of work was to do new pavement, new curbs, new sidewalks, as well as lighting. However, during the process, we were contacted by the engineering department, and we were asked to evaluate sewer laterals as well as some water main improvements. And when we looked at those, it was determined that the water main was undersized as well as real old for that area. And that the sewer laterals going to 18th Street Brewery were also in bad shape and needed replacing. So We're asking for a contract amendment to do the services for the water main as well as the sewer improvements for 18th Street.
So is the total that you're asking for is $8,900?
That's correct. That's just the amendment price. The original contract price was, I think, 30,000 or so, 29,000. So this is an additional 8,900, correct? Oh, sure.
I might just add a little bit. It is the ordinance by the city that sewer laterals are the responsibility of the property owner. And when we undertake reconstruction projects of the roadway, we do go in and replace those sewer laterals to the property line. So this isn't unusual for us to do this type of work, even though the laterals themselves are the responsibility of the homeowner. But if we go in and resurface this roadway and we have bad laterals, that the new roadway would fail. And so we're gonna go and do that. And that's typical with all of our past road reconstruction projects.
That would apply to even water service lines up to the Buffalo box.
It would. Water services and the water department needed the main to be increased from a 4-inch main to an 8-inch main for fire protection in that area. So thank you.
Mr. President, I'd like to request approval for the contract amendment for SEH of Indiana for the utility. What is it? For the Oakley Street project, thank you.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor for the SEH amendment for the Oakley Street project. We have a roll call then.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Kasperky, Navejas.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you, City Engineer Dean Button. I think we have one more on new and unfinished business. It's an Interstate Plaza Drive, geotechnical space.
That's me, if I might speak.
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome again.
Thank you, Dean Button, City Engineer. The city has contemplated the acquiring of Interstate Plaza Drive. It has been a private road for many years, and it is routinely in a condition of poor quality. As you know, Alverno Labs has recently expanded their facility, the Franciscan facility, off of Interstate Plaza Drive. All the development in that area has increased traffic, and it has just become a real concern. And it's really just been decided that we go ahead and take the road and work out an agreement with the existing property owner to figure out what needs to be done and rectify that. How that's funded or how that's paid for at this point is still yet to be determined. But there are certain steps that we need to take in advance of that. We need to do some geotechnical services work, which is what you're being asked for today. And then you'll also, hopefully, your next meeting will also be asked for some design engineering services with HWC out of Indianapolis to evaluate what needs to be done to that roadway. Primarily, there's a lot of surface drainage problems on that roadway. If you're familiar, a lot of standing water on that road. And so we need to figure out what needs to be done in terms of improvements to the roadway to stop that from happening to our future road. So we are asking for your blessing on a contract with ATC in the amount of, $4,250 as a lump sum to do they would do the borings and the pavement evaluation in terms of under drains or what is needed for the roadway. I would answer any questions.
I don't have any questions, but I was just on that road the other day and it's horrible.
Some bad patches there, some big,
Potholes.
Yeah, we've continually pushed the property owner, and we have had numerous complaints from the property owners around the college, the hotel, have been Planet Fitness, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, all of those have complained about this roadway, and I think it's in the best interest of the community to be responsible for that roadway in due course.
Any questions? Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the contract from ATC for $4,250 for, is it geotechnical services?
I second that.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call on that?
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Casperky? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Poppers?
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent. 14, public comment. If anybody would like to come forward, you have 3 minutes. Okay, public comment closed. Before we adjourn, I just want to recognize our 1st District Councilman, Mark Kowinski. Thank you for coming out.
And Mr. President, before we adjourn, can we go back to the approval for the geotechnical services? Commissioner didn't state Interstate Plaza Drive. I didn't know if that was important to put in there or not, but if it is, we need to add it to her motion. Attorney
I
Westman?
think, well, I'll ask Attorney Weston, but I think Commissioner Navejas included the company and the amount, so that should have been.
I mean, if you want to clarify it, that's fine for the
What
record.
item number was that? Was that the last one?
That was
the
for,
last
yeah,
one.
for the
Yeah.
geotechnical services for ATC. It was for Interstate Plaza Drive.
Yeah, we just wanted to add to that.
Okay,
Do I need to second that again?
Go,
might as well.
Well, I second that again.
Okay, then we'll do another roll call on the clarification that was added.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Casperky? Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Poppers?
Yes, motion passes, 4 yes, 1 absent. All right, thank you. All right, then, number 15.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.